we've talked about how, and I mentioned this in the introduction, the church in North America or in the Western world is experiencing a rapid decline as of right now. Now, that doesn't mean that God can't revive. That doesn't mean that he's not clearing away or any of those things, pruning. But we do know that the majority world church is exploding. Why is it so important for those in Western contexts, and I mean, just around the world, to hear from one another? Not just the Western world, but why is it so important for us to hear from one another when it talks about the task of theology?
Yeah, yeah. That's a great question. And I mean, that's right to the heart of the book. So maybe the first thing I could say is maybe I'll give you two reasons not to engage here, right?
Okay.
So one reason that people will sometimes engage here is out of political correctness, or whatever you want to call this, sort of a sense of, and actually I would encounter this often in North America, especially in the US, people who would say, basically if you got them kind of over dinner, comfortable, and they were honestly talking, and they would say, I know I should be interested in this, the majority world church and what its theology is, but I really am not. And it doesn't feel like it matters to me. But I'm gonna engage in it to take my medicine, essentially, right? That's one
Oh my
way. And
gosh.
I actually I have some respect for that. I think it's actually good to,
Be
have a
honest.
yeah, be honest. And
Be
also, like,
honest.
we all need diversity of thought in our diet. And I do this. I read news articles that make me mad intentionally because I know I need to hear the other perspective, right?
Mhm.
And so that can be healthy, but it's not the best way. It's not the best reason. It's not going to keep you coming back. Let's put it that way. The second one is maybe there's a pragmatic approach, right? That says, like if you're a publisher or something like that, you're saying like, look, we're running out of Christians to sell books to in North America. We're going to have to sell books to Africans and Asians and Latin Americans if we're going to survive. And again, not a terrible reason. That's fine. I actually would make that argument to some of our friends in the publishing world in the West, but whether it's books or podcasts, YouTube, things like that. Like, you're gonna have to go where the people are. But again, I don't think that's really the heart of it. And so to get to the heart of it, why should we pay attention to the majority world church and what God is doing in this amazing global body? Well, it's because it's what God is doing. It's because it's God's design from the start, right? To bring the nations to himself, to redeem to himself a people of every tribe, tongue, and nation. And for those people to work together in the task of discerning the depth of the gospel, the riches of Christ, and worshiping him in the fullness of what the human person can achieve. And this is exactly what you see in Revelation 7, redeemed humanity. Guess what? Their culture, their language, their nation, that stays in redeemed humanity. And that tells us God is trying from the start not to get us all into sort of one melting pot where we can all leave our culture behind, but actually into a place where the church, his creature, composed of these many tribes and tongues, is collaborating, working together to know him and love him, worship him, proclaim him.